My name is Deborah Koenigsberger. My occupation is retail and nonprofit and mom, got a few of them. I was born in Jamaica, beautiful island, Kingston, Jamaica. Haven't been in a while, but because the world is so large and I'm so interested in seeing so much of it, as you can see from my map here. So I haven't been in a while, but it's, in my heart, and I'll always be that Jamaican little girl. I first came to the U.S. when I was 11 years old, and I remember it was summertime, and my parents took us to all the water parks and to Asbury Park, and how much fun it was. And then September came, and the weather changed, and it got cold, and I cried every day. When I had to go to school in the cold, I cried every day. I just kept saying, I want to go home, and this was home. And the impact, I think that we moved here, and my parents had moved here because my mom wanted something different for us, and that impacted me because I watched her achieve that different over many years. And as a result, she gave me the spirit that I have to get stuff done. And my mom and dad made a great team. I still have my dad. I lost my mom, unfortunately, but that just go get 'em, do it spirit, I got from my mom. She was a warrior, and my dad is just this very peaceful, calm, serene human being. So they were a great match. I am in retail in more ways than one. I have a women's clothing boutique called Noir and Blanc. I have also a resale store, which is a thrift store that belongs to my nonprofit. So my nonprofit is called Hearts of Gold. And, it's really interesting because the nonprofit, I started the store to support the charity. And the charity helps homeless mothers and children who live in shelter or formerly from shelters. And retail is what I know and love. I did not go to school for it. I didn't study it. I didn't study fashion. I started from the ground up. I started as a salesperson. I became assistant manager. I went to manager. After manager, I became a partner with some folks in another store. And then I opened my own store. So I didn't have formal training in retail for sure. But I had a knack for it. I had an instinct, and that instinct paid off. As far as the nonprofit goes, I certainly had no nonprofit experience. I heard a Stevie Wonder song in 1995 that changed my life. And as you can see up there, my buddy, because that song, basically, I went to 7 nights of concert, and the song Take the Time Out really just spoke to me. It just drummed in my head. It was like, take the time out to love someone, reach your arms out and touch someone, be it king or some homeless one. We are one beneath the sun. And young mom, and I had, we lived up the block here, and my children, I used to take my little boys to the park. And that park, there was a woman sleeping in that park with her daughter. And it just shocked me that I had an apartment and I had all of this and she had only that. And that song spoke to me and told me basically that I could change something. I didn't have to save the world, but if I started my little corner of the world, and I thought the park, I live there, I cross the park every day and I come to work on 23rd Street to my store. So that just motivated me to want to do something, and that led to Hearts of Gold being formed. And the nonprofit, it feeds my soul, it balances me. I always say to everybody, Noir and Blanc feeds my kids, and the Thrifty HOG feeds everybody else's kids. And that feels good to me. My mom came from pretty much a little bit less than nothing. And when I see how hard she worked and where she got to for us, my brother and she inspired me my whole life, even though, funny enough, I didn't really know it. I just owned it, kind of, because that's the way things were. My dad was another person who he was the one stopping on the highway whenever cars were broken down, and we would be like, me and my brother, can we just go home? Why are we always the one stopping? Let somebody else stop for a change. But even though I was fighting that, it made me who I am. It made me sensitive to, if you can do something, stop and do it. Don't worry about the other cars flying by. How about you? If you stop, you can help. Oh my gosh. So Hearts of Gold started 19 years ago. And 19 years ago, I remember driving out to the North Fork with my best friend, Jack Indy, from college, and asking different vineyards to donate a bottle of wine so we could have this event. Now, 17 years of galas later, we have wonderful sponsors. Some of the people who are involved in this are my dear friends like Soledad O'Brien. She is absolutely my guardian angel when it comes to Hearts of Gold. She stops at nothing. She gives everything, and she'll do whatever it takes, which is pretty brilliant. I just have so much respect and love for her, and her kindness is just, it knows no bounds. So as far as my biggest fans are the kids in Hearts of Gold, which makes me the happiest. I see them coming down the street and they run and hug onto my leg, and it makes my day, my week, my year. Tamara Tooney, who's also on our board, just people who are there for the organization. They're there for me. If I pick up the phone, they're there. Through Tamara, I met Rhonda Ross, who's become, I feel like we've known each other now since we were 4 years old, because our relationship is just so off the chain. She is such a, she's such a giver and takes nothing and wants nothing, and just what else can I do? And she has a huge heart. If you know Rhonda Ross, she has this amazingly huge smile, and I don't know which one's bigger, her smile or her heart, but I'll take them both, and I get them both. But she's always trying to figure out a way to introduce Hearts of Gold into the lives of anyone she touches. Like me, just amazing. She'll call me up and she'll have an idea and gone. There's so many people. Marcia Gay Harden, the actress, she's one of my really close friends and a huge supporter of Hearts of Gold. Miss that she's in LA right now, but whenever she's here, or if I need something, I just gotta pick up the phone. I got to meet Stevie Wonder through one of these relationships, and be in touch with him whenever I want to be in touch with him, which is an amazing thing, because he is, after all, Stevie Wonder, and he is the motivator behind all of this. So that's pretty special. I have friends like Nick and Shelley Schorsch, who are major moguls in the business world, and just a small story, but last year at our gala, I launched a new program for teens, and it's a teen program, 5 weeks in the summer. We needed it funded. It's going to cost somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000. Halfway through my speech, trying to get people to put their paddle up and throw in some money into the pot for this, Shelley comes up to the runway and she says, all right, listen, Nick and I will fund this program, perpetuity, no cap on dollars, no cap on kids. We'll write that check every year. So at this exact moment, we're sitting in my office at Noir, Blanc, which is my office in my store, and 20 feet away from the Thrifty HOG, and sitting, standing behind me are all the people who are the closest and nearest and dearest to me. My two boys right here, and this is my younger one when he was little, and now he's not so little. He just broke the Middlebury swimming record, 50 breasts last year, so as a freshman he took that goal. My older one, he was here, who ended up with a leading role in West Side Story at Yale last year, and he's going to graduate in May. Where's my husband? And the fabulous, most beautiful man that I share my life with, Tilo Koenigsberger. He's just strong, steady, and support. Because I have a crazy life. I do a lot of things. My boys grew up with Hearts of Gold. Hearts of Gold is 19 years old, and Stefan just turned 19 yesterday, and Florian is 21. So, they knew nothing else. They do know that I would say, hey, Flo, Jaslene's sleeping over tonight from the shelter, whatever, so we're going to put a bed for you on the floor, and she's going to take your bunk, and he would be on the floor. And, Jaslene is now 21 as well as Florian. I've known her since she was 5, and she calls me Auntie Deb. She grew up in my house. She thinks that I'm her aunt. She thinks that my boys are her cousins, and it's a beautiful thing, because you know what? They actually are, because that relationship. So they got so used to somebody's coming home, guys, move over, share, that it's who they are. In my life, I have to give. I've gotten so much, and I know that if I had not been handed these gifts, I wouldn't be where I am. And I know that if I pass these gifts on to moms, they too can get somewhere else, somewhere special, somewhere really, I talked to the moms, and Jaslene's mom was actually here this morning, and today we're running around and we're changing the store over for fall, and you guys are coming, and Jackie walked in and she said, what's going on? I said, oh my gosh, fall, we've got it, the merchandise is here, we're trying to get it out, whatever, we're buzzing like bees. And she goes, all right, I'm on lunch hour, what can I do? and she stayed here for her lunch hour. She didn't go eat, and she steamed clothes and folded and put out. And she's a mom that I met in a shelter 16 years ago. When you're blessed, you're not blessed so that you can hold it. You're blessed so you can pass it on and share it. And if we all do that with our blessings, and I'm so surrounded by people who get that, then the world is such a different place. We just had the most amazing back to school event this past week. Red carpet, it was such a brilliant event. And Florian's already back up at Yale, and I said to him, listen, Tuesday we're doing this event, and he's an amazing photographer. I said, and I need you, right? He goes, I'll be on that train. He took a train. He got down here at 5:30, 5:45. We had the event. He took the last shots. He got back on that train, and he went back up to school. And that's not something that I have to ask my kids to do. If I say this is happening for Hearts of Gold, they're there. They grew up being like Santa's helper for Christmas and giving out gifts to the kids and putting, the placemats down when we would have the big parties and doing the arts and crafts with them. So it's a part of who they are. So as far as my future goes for my businesses and Hearts of Gold, the organization, and just life, the Thrifty HOG is this beautiful resale store that you will have an amazing experience shopping in, as well as donating to. The money from that, of course, supports the programs for the moms and the kids. So if you would donate your lightly used designer, beautiful merchandise, wares, household items, we'd love that, and we'd really appreciate it. And you would become a part of the equation helping us help these families. Time, talent, treasure. So if you have time to donate and would like to volunteer and help in the store, please come on down. We're happy to have you. Talent, if you have a particular gift, if you love working with kids, if you are a face painter and you want to come help one of our parties, if you want to volunteer to be a volunteer at one of our events that we do, whether it's a gala or other, please come on down. Treasure keeps us alive, and that means that every donation, every dollar is really valuable to us. No donation is too small. You can donate $5, $10, you can donate whatever you can donate. I guarantee you I will personally put it to really good use on behalf of the moms and the kids. And of course, until that rent is paid, we can't do anything, right? So all the net proceeds from that store supports the charity. My store, my customers that shop in my store, Noir, Blanc, which is also on 25th Street, we're literally 4 doors apart, the 2 stores, 20 feet. My store, my customers who shop here, they cross shop. So they'll buy a nice pair of Prada shoes to go with the suit that they're buying. I shop in Paris, so I'm there twice a year for the shows, and I bring back all this wonderful stuff that they can't find everywhere. Small designers, really great. Always showcasing new designers that have fabulous things to show, so that they can get some exposure. And that's what my store represents, and it's going to be 25 years old next year, and I'm going to have a huge event, and please come on down and join our mailing list so you can be invited to that, and come see the fall collections. They're beautiful, and they're all just coming in. Please join us in supporting this amazing cause, Hearts of Gold. Feel free to come by my store. I'm a stylist, and I love to dress women, and I'm really good at it. Watch out. And the Thrifty HOG, like I said, tell all your friends about it. Lots of young people, friends, my kids' friends from colleges come down, and they love it because they're getting all the brand jeans, lucky jeans for $25 and $30, that have probably been worn once by someone. It's really, I'm also completely OCD when it comes to quality control, so everything there is pristine, and it's steamed, and it's cleaned, and it's hanging, and it's waiting for you to come by.